Indoor cycling, Zwift, racing, parenting. We cover those and all of our hopes and dreams in between. Welcome to the Talk Dirty to Me podcast, an entertaining look into the lives of everyday people trying to achieve virtual cycling glory from our basements and garages from around the world. This podcast is rooted in Zwift and has evolved into found friendships, fitness, health, and a little sprinkle of humor. This may be one of the only podcasts where a little heavy breathing shouldn't scare you away, because we're riding our bikes while we're recording it.
What's up? Back again.
Welcome back.
I know, I feel like I haven't seen you guys in forever.
I know.
A week's such a long time. Yeah. So I'm fresh back from vacation. Quote unquote recovery, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I recovered much, for the record.
Yeah, but you relaxed, right?
Yeah. Well, according to Garmin, I bottomed out on my body battery 3 times. So I don't know what that means.
That's excellent.
I think that's all the trips to the bar.
Yeah. That's the stress of your body processing alcohol.
But I also hit my step goal every day.
Nice.
Yeah. I think I fooled it by drinking with my left hand. So it was fun. It was much needed, I think. But
Yeah.
Of course.
as all things, after a week of it, you're like, okay, I'm ready to get back.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
So before I went, I made a wager, not really a wager, but just a rough guess of how much weight can I gain in a week on vacation.
Okay.
My goal was 15 pounds because I had hit that before and I knew I could get it. I achieved it and surpassed it.
Wow.
You guys want to guess?
Yo,
No.
you surpassed it.
18.
More?
20.5.
Oh, he's really close. It was 20.7. Almost 21 pounds.
Wow.
See? Yo,
Wow.
Yeah.
so much of that is traveling,
Water.
water weight. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I had pancakes or waffles every day at breakfast
Yeah.
and drinking tons of water, tons of salt,
Yeah.
beer.
Not to go right into the poop channel, but I find that when I'm on vacation, I rarely get the fiber that I
That you
usually
need.
get at home.
Yeah.
And after a couple days and a couple monumental trips to the bathroom, some of that weight at least will
Yeah.
shed quickly.
Sure. I think the last time we got back, I think I lost 8 pounds in 2 days or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's a
That's
weird
about
thing, like anytime you travel, you're seated, you're eating a ton of salt.
Yeah.
So I had horrible swelling in my feet. Like,
Yeah.
I usually have fairly vascular feet, like you can see veins,
Yeah.
Yep.
Nothing, like sausages. It was entertaining. I still had some in my ankles last night, putting my kids to bed. My wife's like, oh my God, look at your ankle. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
That's awesome. So now you got to track the other end. Now you got to track the weight loss.
Yeah, how quickly.
That's,
Oh, yeah.
How quick it comes off.
Yeah, I will. I usually weigh every day, just out of routine,
Yeah.
not really for any specific reason. So, yeah, we'll see how quickly can he drop 20 pounds.
The resort you were staying at, were they foolish enough to give you a scale in the room?
They did. I didn't get on it at all,
Really?
though. Actually,
I'm
I
actually
take that back.
surprised by that.
I got
Yeah,
on it
really.
one time. It was at the very end to weigh my bags.
Oh, nice. Will I get dinged with an extra fee?
Yeah. Are they going to get
Exactly. Well, we had to buy some tequila to bring back.
Ah.
Shifted our weight around. We So the place we stayed, it was an adults only but fairly small. I think there's like 300 rooms or something.
That is small.
The beach was awesome. Best beach I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And they had tequila tastings like every day.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Oh, talk about pain. Whew. It's like right at lunchtime too. You're like, well, I haven't eaten anything yet, but yeah, let's go taste some tequila. And I don't know if you guys are tequila
Drinking
fans.
is always tough.
Oh, you would think so. You get used to it pretty quick though. Much like anything in life, it's all about repetition and progression.
Gotta make it a routine.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Progression.
Progressive loading.
Exposure to increasing doses.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then you hit your we'll call it your beer O2 max. And then
Okay.
you realize, yep, okay, you need to stay under that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a good threshold workout for you.
Do you guys like tequila?
For tolerance? Never really been a big fan. No.
So
I mean, I can appreciate it now, but I had several bad experiences in college.
well, the guy that does the tasting there made it a point to be like, hey, everybody drinks it wrong in the States. They shoot it, chase it with lime, salt. He's like, that's because you're drinking tequila with too high a sugar. I was like, oh, really? So he gives us, this, the good stuff. And I'll be darned if it's not really good. Like I could sit there and drink it, kind of like a scotch or a whiskey.
Like sipping. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
So we bought a bottle of it's like a silver tequila, but it's the one my wife liked. So I wasn't going to argue. I was like, okay, we can get that one.
Good call.
Yeah. And they had this stuff. It was called like cream of tequila or something, 1921.
Cream of tequila.
Yeah. So it's like
Interesting.
tequila, obviously, milk, but it's like soy free, lactose free, gluten free, milk, cinnamon, vanilla, a little bit of coffee, and it's like served cold,
Was
So-
it like
Sounds-
was it horchata?
Kinda.
Tequila?
It was kind of like tequila chata,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Sure.
So the guy was like, hey, this is really good if you put it in espresso for like in the afternoon or whatever, or in the evening if you want decaf, whatever. So that was good. We got some of that too. But anyway,
Interesting. That sounds very dangerous.
Did you?
Yeah.
Tequila.
Did they have any Brazilian style meat restaurants?
meat tornadoes?
Have you been to
No,
one of those?
they didn't have any
Okay.
meat tornadoes, unfortunately. We had, let's see, they had like, standard Italian. They had a Caribbean restaurant. It was pretty good.
Sure.
The last night was Asian, which they had sushi. And I was like, I told the waiter, quiero todos el sushi. Todos. Which, if you don't speak Spanish, means all the sushi.
Oh,
All of the sushi.
And he said, okay. So they brought out like 3 plates of like assorted rolls or whatever. For the table, there were 6 of us. And I don't know, I must have eaten probably maybe 6 or 7 of them, of the rolls.
Oh,
Like to the
Wow.
point where,
yeah.
like my stomach was like bulging out.
yeah.
It's like, okay, I've hit my sushi maximum.
With the Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec. I'm afraid you misunderstood
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
I didn't say bring me
eggs and
as
bacon.
much bacon as you can.
Yeah, I said bring me all the
Bring
eggs
me all
and bacon.
of the bacon.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of,
Good for you.
we had, our I'd say our best experience at dinner was at the restaurant that's kind of like over the water. So they have a section of the,
Oh, yeah.
of the resort that's, like on stilts and over the water. And there's a restaurant over there. And we had like a 5 elements dinner. It was like wine pairing and all that sort of stuff, right? first of all, I had horrible reflux, so I couldn't really enjoy the wine. But the food was good. And we were sitting in this room that had a glass floor, and you could see the ocean underneath you. That was probably one of the coolest experiences I've ever had.
That's awesome. Glass bottom boat.
And apparently all the rooms over there have that too. We might have ran into a newlywed couple who are, like 24 and 25. Right? And they're these tiny little things. And we're sitting at the bar, myself and my friend, whom when we get together and we start drinking, we get real friendly and like kind of, what's the word? I don't want to say pushy because that sounds like questionable. We're
socially insistent.
Yes, thank you. Socially insistent upon shots. And so this tiny little newlywed couple, I felt bad for them. They did not make it to dinner that night. So, but you know what? They're on their honeymoon. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, of course.
But anyway, enough about me. I missed you guys. I tell you, we talk all the time, and I didn't see you for like a full week.
I know. I was telling somebody, Dodd made a good effort to stay in touch for like 2 days, and then I think he realized it was time to just put the phone down and get drunk on a beach.
Enjoy Mexico.
And that was mostly out of I had my phone on me all day, but I had it in my backpack after I got in the pool. And then, I just totally forgot about the phone, which was great.
That's the point.
Absolutely.
I always check in the morning, though. You know what I'm saying?
See what had happened?
Yeah. Well, and then trying to...
There was one day, you were posting in the Discord still at like 10:30, 10:45 Eastern. Everybody was like, what the? Holy cow.
Dodd's awake.
Dodd's on vacation.
Sure I was. Yeah, I was probably drinking a beer at the time.
Yeah, there was also,
The multitude of drinks that I posted.
Yeah, it was a glorious thing.
I learned some new Spanish from my friend Daniel, the bartender. He was teaching me slang ways of ordering beer. So una chela más is the, and then una chela más carnal, which is brother, like bro.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
That's nice. I was gonna say. No, it was weird. Weird not having you around.
Well, and then
swap riding.
As I say, I'm trying to coordinate, adding new teams to ZRL.
Yeah.
And I'm like also coordinating the DRS, the dirt racing series, because the guys did a TTT this week and I wasn't there. And they're adding people, like trying to get new people in there to get the team together. And I was like completely absent. Sorry, guys. I think it worked out in the end, though.
I think Eric was literally added to the roster hours before the race. Yeah. It worked out. It was a good race series, though.
That's fun, yeah.
Good categories.
We'll have
DRS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many weeks was that? 4?
3.
3.
It was 3. A modified individual time trial, a points race, and
nice.
ITT.
Yeah.
The ITT individual time trial was effectively a scratch race
with no draft.
Sure.
With no drafting.
Scratch race on
time
trial bikes.
When they gave points for segments.
And it had segments too.
Which was unique, and I think added to it.
Titans Grove Reverse had a com point, and then the sprint.
Oh man,
had a segment.
Points. Sprint points on ITT feels very wrong.
Right.
the only way I was able to contribute.
Yeah, Drew ended up getting, what, 4th?
That got dropped on. Yeah.
Nice.
No, not overall. I didn't have
Yeah.
the points. Only because
Sure.
the sprint bumped up my numbers. So it helped.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. I think they're doing the full season starting in May.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, May 31st to June.
Was that like right after CRL wraps?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep, just a gap.
Greg, you're going to have to get in on one of these race series. You know that?
Yeah, I know. Well, to be honest, dirt race series, it starts again in May. That might be right at the end of the... My goal is to actually finish 2 build blocks in a trainer road plan ever. Because I always get into the first or second build block, and then ZRL would start, and I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'll go chase that shiny thing. So I'm trying to be disciplined about that this time.
Well, I'm really hoping, but we added a B team this time around to our. We have 4 now, so usually I think last season we had 3, and we made a new team, and some of us from previous team, Dirt and Ernie, are back on the same team. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Tried to coerce Greg into joining. He held true to his goals.
I said I'll be there for. I'll do the TTTs for sure.
Yeah,
those sub will work out way better than points race.
Yeah, for sure. So
I fully intend to be bringing up the rear most of these points races. The first season in B.
So Drew was telling me
a good time to try to.
Before we started recording, Drew was telling me about I missed out on the leg snapper last week for the time trial.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about that.
Drew couldn't handle 5-0 at the leg snapper for even one time. Got going 5-0 and group just started drifting away at the top.
I mean, you were right there.
Yeah, I caught back on with the sprint on the downhill.
Yeah.
But I was pretty much useless from that point on.
You didn't get any tuck on the downhill? Draft fodder.
Yeah. Stick in the middle.
No.
It was fun though. It was good.
I think he got the super tuck on the first descent, but we were just tucking faster. So the sprint was after that or into and after that second one.
Yeah, exactly. Into that little weird valley, uphill into the next downhill.
My guy didn't go into tuck on the third descent, and I had to sprint back on. I think that's my biggest 15-second effort in a TTT ever.
And we had Fremont taking monster.
Yeah.
Minute and a half pulls. Greg was taking minute pulls.
As Fremont does.
Jeremy was
as
too.
Fremont does. Jeremy was a monster. Pulls into the snapper.
Pulled into the snapper. Oof.
This week we have the glorious jungle.
Yeah. About that.
What's the consensus, Greg? Are we doing a swap?
Find out how many people are doing the
I'll be honest, I haven't really been doing a lot of TTT homework this week. I don't know if we want a bike swap. I mean,
I don't know. Like I said, I think Sully said it in one of the channels last night. Adds to the fun. Yeah. I mean, if you know that you're not competing for a podium,
and then, but also Sully's also been the one that has said like, well, we're not really in contention for anything, so it's like we don't have to,
Yeah. Yep. That's it. But for anybody who has some time, you should talk to the boys over
at I logged in to see that conversation, and I was like, "Oh man."
I was telling Dodd before. One of them, I think it was Ben. Ben did 5 laps of the jungle at 5 watts per kilo yesterday for testing. I said, that guy. I wish I had that kind of sustained power.
Testing. Torture is another word that comes to mind.
A lot of power.
What's the consensus on that? Is it gravel bike or?
So the gravel is definitely fastest.
Okay.
I think it was, but the consensus is that ED1. I don't think we'll be swapping. Obviously, by the time everybody's listening,
we'll see
what probably know. But yeah, I think they've decided that they will not be swapping because the jungle only accounts for 20% of the whole route. So I think they're going to go full aero for the whole race.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is it's not just one swap, it's 2 swaps. So
right.
I don't know.
And it's 8 people doing 2 swaps.
Half the jungle is climbing, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, are you really getting any benefit?
Right.
I think we just answered our own question.
The other half is descending.
But if you're a thick boy, a little extra weight on you.
It was weak. So the TTT yesterday was the jungle. The Serpentine 8. So it was a figure 8 of the jungle. And there is no super tuck. There's no recovery on that jungle circuit.
No, when you're coming down the
rolling resistance.
No, you never get up to speed.
Yeah. So actually we had Sully on the last lap doing his Sully anchor. Sped to the front and pulled everybody down with him down the downhill. And then as we were about to hit the last uphill before the final descent, he was like, all right, y'all are about to start climbing. It's mostly downhill after that. You got this. I was like, all right, Sully. See you at the end. But it was good.
Yeah, that was like we were saying, that was a really fun series. We had some pretty good competition. Dirty Work had Grant was up there in the points usually every time. Pete K, obviously.
Yeah.
Good times.
And we recruited Matt Coble for the Mars TTT.
Yeah, he's on our ZRL team too. He was on my team last season. But
yeah. Yep.
That's right.
Slowly roping him in to eat dirt.
Taking him over.
One event at a time.
Who does Coble usually ride with?
I was going to say, I don't know that he's done anything but ZRL. We'll have to ask him.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Because I think, I had seen his name doing scratch, spot races here and there. And affiliate with Dirt, but never seen him on a team before.
It was. I always look forward to the Herd series too in the summer. It'll be a good one. It's not a team.
Did you?
Event,
did you see we got a shout out from Sterney for our team name for this season?
They were really
Shenanidirts.
That's awesome.
Shenanidirts.
The Shenanidirts. It's a good one. The shenanigans of Eat Dirt. The Shenanidirts. Now we what is the say then? It's this week is actually another jungle loop.
It seems like it does again.
That. We have Road to Ruins this week.
Hey, look, there's PK right there. We were just talking about it.
Where are you riding?
Me? TikTok.
You're not with Coco though, are you?
Nah, I did. So I think it was Brasta that told me. He's like, after your week off the bike, your legs are gonna feel like trash. He's like, so do something relatively easy. So I just did a Trainer Road, Zone 2, Homer's Nose.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
So it's good.
I'm in my recovery week on Trainer Road right now.
Nice. I had my first ever non-bump in FTP after my recovery week. I kind of felt it coming though. Because it was the first. What is it after build?
Specialty.
Might have been build.
Are you in specialty?
Am I in specialty now? I think now I'm in build. I might be in build 2 now.
Build 2.
So my first build week, those workouts were not so easy.
The thing that's interesting though is I mean, even though you don't get the FTP bump, you're probably still, I guess, spreading out and sharpening your abilities within that FTP.
Sure. That's it. Is the muscular endurance is definitely improving. That's the big one. The event that I'm training for is my first 100-mile outdoor ride. So need that more than I need anything. It's an interesting concept, though. I think I told you guys about it before. They got the 4 segments throughout the race, where it's sustained climbs and stuff. It's right, because we got Bonica.
Oh, yeah, he's joined up.
I'm just going to throw a rope around him. I throw a rope around him and have him pull me up. Who is it now? It's actually getting to be a good group. It was always me, Pete K, and Dan Gassert, I think. And then Bonica's on now.
Nice.
I think Al Fang is talking about joining us.
Very nice.
Sterney, which he gave us the check-in with me the month before. I'm definitely interested. Ask me again a month out. But we'll say 100 miles, 7,000 feet of climbing.
That's awesome.
Need some endurance in the
I feel like
speaking of endurance,
talk about sustained power.
No, I'm saying speaking of endurance, shout out to Craig.
Oh yeah, his
Craig
marathon
Sturgeon for his unbelievable marathon.
2:53 is that what he got?
That was a crazy time.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Beat his goal time, qualified for Boston and New York. Good for him.
Well, Greg, do you have anything prepared for today?
Yeah, I prepared my segment, as always.
I know you did. I told Drew we'd probably have a little bit of a shorter episode just since we didn't have a whole lot to talk about. But
I mean, there's a lot to talk about, but it's not good podcast material.
That's right.
This is our return, as ever, to Dodd's Drinks, where we run down all the alcoholic beverages that Dodd consumed. You're going to have to give us an assist because you only posted half of them, I'm guessing.
That was
the highlight. I'll just say that the highlight for me was, I think it was day 2 or 3, where Dodd posted a "Leave me out of this" picture with his plastic cup of beer.
Yeah.
And then shortly thereafter, every post that Dodd made his own post ended with the beers cheers emoji.
I think I also slurred my words typing them because I misspelled Saturday, tremendously misspelled it. It was like screw up.
Yeah, that was a classic.
I'm a simple guy. When I go to Mexico, I usually drink Dos Equis with a lime.
Okay, sure.
Occasionally, I'll switch it up.
It's a good one.
And there was the margarita.
So that was a
big salt
mezcalita, which is mezcal instead of tequila.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you guys have ever had mezcal before. But it's like the peated Scotch equivalent to tequila.
Yeah.
So it's like smoky and it's good. It's an acquired taste.
It was very strange when I had it the first time.
And that's
because you're expecting. I mean, it's not unlike, I don't know, when I think of alcohols from Mexico, like tequila, rum, and then mezcal is a very different flavor profile.
Well, so in mezcal is the one that has the worm. Most people think tequila has the worm, but it's mezcal has a worm in it. But trying to think of the weirdest drink I had the entire time. We had some unique shots. We had one called the Baby Maker. He didn't tell me the name of it until after I took it. I was like, I don't want to take that one again. I'm done. I'm done having kids. Which that'll be my next week off the bike. Taking care of that business. No, those were. That was definitely not half.
Okay. A quarter.
I like to stay hydrated
20%
throughout the day. So, it's usually I lose track after lunch. That's all I can say.
That's fair.
I'm a thirsty guy.
Did you have the plastic cup? Did they have the little push button dispenser? It's like a cooler, not quite a keg.
To refill it?
Yeah.
No, you'd go up to the bar and they'd give you a fresh one, or the waiters would come around. Yeah.
All right.
Which this place, the staff there was so happy. They were all just goofing off and having a good time.
Yeah.
While doing their job, of course. But it was a good atmosphere.
Sure. I thought it was fun. Yeah, my only Caribbean experience was St. Lucia for my honeymoon. The waiter service is life-changing. When you're sitting there and your cup goes empty, they come over. Would you like another one?
Yes, I would. Thank you. We the group text message awesome. That we have for the 6 people that went. The name of the group text message is drinks ? Yes, please. Yeah.
There's only one answer.
I'm a yes man when I'm in Mexico, that's for sure. Except for drugs and stuff. No.
Sure.
We were in
more waffles, sir?
Yes, more waffles. See, Mas waffles, please. Por favor. We were in Mexico, I think it was 2 years ago, standing on the beach, and you always get a couple guys that are walking the beach trying to sell stuff, and he comes up offering Cuban cigars to our friend, and then he looks at me and he's like, "Hey man, you want some weed?" I'm like, "You just stereotype me."
Wow.
He was, to be fair, in a past life, maybe.
Too many tattoos, Dodd.
He knew what he was doing.
Read you like a book.
Apparently there is a point of no return.
Sure. 2 or 3 tasteful tattoos will get a cigar.
Oh,
0 to 2. Sleeves will get a weed offer.
Where's the Coke offer? That's my question. That's face tattoos.
Probably closer to 0.
I had a good time.
It's good.
Drew, how's your movie watching going?
Yeah, what'd you watch?
It's good. I wrapped up with the Age of Ultron. It was an interesting one. It was definitely a little darker than the first Avengers, obviously, just because the material was a little darker. World domination and by the robots.
Classic Terminator trope.
It was good. Yeah. But it's funny because I know a lot of the characters from the small series that come later. like WandaVision.
Nice.
Recognize that guy. I was like, all right. But I think now I go to Ant-Man.
Oh.
Is the next one. So
a little venture into a smaller scale, low stakes story.
Yeah.
Exactly. Take a little rest from the heavy material. You can see again, knowing the movies that come, you can see the division within Avengers forming, battle lines being drawn, so to speak.
Oh, yeah.
But
soon you get to watch Captain America, Civil War is up, not too far off, right? Or
yep, I think that's
Or as
couple
many like to call
future.
it, Avengers 2.5.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah. I believe they did that. They wanted to do it as an Avengers movie, but they did it as a Captain America movie because then they could pull everybody in as ancillary characters under their contracts without burning out Avenger contract appearances.
That makes sense.
Interesting.
Which is also how they got Spider-Man in, I think.
One thing that was interesting about...
Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Spoilers.
That makes sense.
Spoilers.
Now, we... One of the interesting things that I found is how they seemingly choose like a different character every Avengers. Maybe like a character or two.
Yeah.
Kind of humanize and make you fall in love with a different aspect of their character. Like it was Thor and his family and whatever. This one was Hawkeye and even Hulk and
Natasha.
What's her name? Sasha.
Black Widow.
Was it? Natasha. Yep, Black Widow. That was this time around. So I mean, this definitely had the most human elements to it. I think,
What was one of my favorite quotes from all the Marvel is in this movie, and it was Hawkeye, and he's like, "I'm a guy fighting killer robots with a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense."
Yeah. So you're gonna get out there and do what you have to do, and do your job. You're gonna get out there and do your job.
That's great.
Yeah, the twins was kind of a weird storyline, but
it was the guy that plays Quicksilver. He's also in Kick-Ass. Aaron something.
Yeah.
I always thought that was a bit of a waste.
I can't remember his name.
On him. I think he's a pretty funny guy.
Yes. He's a great actor.
Yeah. Oh, well. So Ant-Man, huh? That'd be a good one.
But Ant-Man next.
Is it Ant-Man and then Ant-Man 2, or what's after Ant-Man?
I think it's Ant-Man.
That'd be
Civil
War, right?
Civil War, yeah.
The other thing they got from the Civil War was the Russo brothers working with all the cast. Because, they went on to direct the last two Avengers movies.
Really? Interesting. Timeline, here we go. So we got Ant-Man, then Civil War, then Black Widow.
That wasn't in there.
So, actually, then it goes into a long line of individual characters. So it goes Ant-Man, Civil War, Black Widow, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, then Thor Ragnarok, Ant-Man and the Wasp,
and
that's then
actually pretty good.
Avengers. I have to introduce the rest of the Avengers, I guess.
Black Panther.
Hold on a second.
So,
yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
Black Widow. Wow. I can't remember the post-credit scene, but I think you're not supposed to watch it yet. I think not.
You're not supposed to?
Potential heavy spoilers on it.
Interesting.
I think so. I'm not positive. I got to remember which one it is. I thought it's the one with Elena and Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character.
Ooh,
I'll say no more than that.
I think you might be right.
I'll look at that.
Yeah.
I'll send you a message, Drew. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't watch the after credits scenes.
Sounds like anything else spoils anything, but that one might.
Yeah.
I
heads up.
I don't know if you've watched this yet, Dodd. I started watching Peacemaker. Have you guys?
Is that the John Cena?
Yeah. I've heard good things about it.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I don't know. I'm 3 episodes in. It's a short run, but it's very good.
I'll give it a shot.
James Gunn is writing and directing it.
Oh, see, I didn't know James Gunn was doing it.
Yeah, and
then yeah, it's got
John
to be good,
Cena. Right? I've only seen him in. Well, I mean, I've seen him as Peacemaker, but he's a fairly one-dimensional character in the Suicide Squad. But like other than that, he's only in stupid kids type movies, or I guess high school movies, right? In wrestling, but guys, he's a good actor. I'm impressed.
Persona.
What about his epic portrayal in Sisters of the drug dealer, I believe?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
One where Tina Fey's like,
my safe word is keep going.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's comedy gold right there. Well, so next week, or possibly the week after, one of the next couple weeks, we're gonna have more guests because we got tons of people that are doing cool things and have stuff to talk about. So, but until then, we just wanted to check back in, get back in it.
Yeah.
And, mostly it was just selfish for me to catch up with you guys, see what's going on. But
yeah,
that's all right.
I think we accomplished that.
So, until next time. See you guys later.
Oh,
adios.
Have a good week, Drew's mom.
Yes.
I guess.
Suck it, Miller.